Hello and welcome to your 3-day counseling tarot reading. This is a sample of the kinds of readings I can do for you personally if you join me on Instantgo. The first card I have drawn today is the 5 of Swords. This card indicates you should be self-protecting. What am I going through right now that I need help with? This card suggests you may be feeling things are getting on top of you at this time. This may be leading you to behave in a self-protective manner, perhaps giving others the impression you don't need their help and that you can look after yourself. This mask may mean that others are not able to interpret your needs, when in fact you might benefit from their support. You may need to let down your guard in order that others can help you more. That way you can reverse your patterns of self-protection and ease your burdens in times to come. Be self-protecting. The 5 of Swords relates to the feeling of being overwhelmed and the belief that we must struggle in our quest for survival. At times like these we may want to just look after ourselves, feeling that perhaps we might sink if we don't. After all, if we don't look after ourselves, who will? It is true that we cannot expect anyone else to take care of our needs. But too often this perspective is taken too far and thus we may act selfishly, adopting a philosophy of looking out for number one. Many of us experience situations which damage our trust in others and lead us to believe we can only rely on ourselves. Yet it is worth remembering that love is a greater force in the world than scarcity and that there are enough resources available to take care of all our needs. The fear of scarcity can unfortunately make it a self-fulfilling prophecy, so it is important to revise our negative beliefs and trust again. The second card I've drawn today is Justice. This card implores you to create good karma. What does my tarot counselor advise for today? The Justice card advises you to look at the way you are behaving and ask yourself if you are being fair and just in your dealings with people. If the answer is not always, then you have an opportunity to bring yourself peace of mind by changing the way you are acting. The card is a reminder that all wrongs are righted in the end, so you might as well do this while you can. If you are concerned that you are being unfairly treated, do not worry, the balance will eventually be redressed and in time you will feel justice has been served. This may not be in the way you want, if for instance you want revenge or hurt to be meted out to the offending party, but you can be sure that the resultant harmony and balance will be one that is right for everyone on their particular life journey. Create good karma. In this card we see the familiar figure of Lady Justice. In one hand she holds a set of scales with which she weighs up each opposing side of an argument as well as right and wrong. And in the other she holds the sword of decision with which she will inevitably administer her considered verdict. The message this card has for us is that the universe is ultimately a fair place, even though it may not seem so on a day-to-day level. Whether this is due to karmic law, divine retribution, or simply that people are inherently good, is not revealed. The card also reminds us that we each have a responsibility to act in an ethical way and, if we do this, our good deeds will in time come back to us. In the same way, if we don't make amends, our mistakes will come back to haunt us. The third card I've drawn today is the Page of Cups. This card asks you to nurture intuition and sensitivity. What does my tarot counselor advise for tomorrow? Receiving the Page of Cups in this position advises you to be open to what your intuition is telling you. If you cannot feel clear guidance from within, this may be the result of some stuck emotions leaving you a bit confused as to where you are and where you are going. You may as a result be finding it hard to make choices, because you don't trust your intuition or gut feeling anymore. In order to reverse this situation you will need to unblock these emotions and be more open and honest about how you are feeling, even if it is difficult to admit to yourself. By doing this you will open the doors again to your creative potential and get back on track to manifesting your dreams. If you find yourself meeting interesting new people, the card asks you to be open with them. Think of each one of them as potentially being able to share great secrets, gifts, truths and insights with you. Any problems you have may be transformed as a result. Nurture intuition and sensitivity. The Page of Cups is the card of instinct, gut feeling and following where your heart tells you to go. It speaks of romance and a honeymoon period in our relationships. It also represents new beginnings, dreams coming to life and following your inner guidance to new horizons and possibilities. The Page of Cups contains a youthful essence, indicating qualities such as flamboyance, sensitivity and naivety. The card speaks of a great emotional intelligence and an ability to read others' feelings with ease and care. In essence, it represents being in touch with one's emotions, sensitive side and intuition. The Page of Cups is an exciting card. It represents a spirit of adventure, the magic carpet which can take us wherever we want to go, and places we aren't even aware we want to go. This may happen through surprise connections. This is something we all may have experienced at some point. We meet the right people at the right time. We find ourselves engaged in the right conversations. We experience common goals and shared beliefs with others. All of these coincidences can provide us with clearer direction for our lives. The Page of Cups is deeply connected to the synchronicity within life. This combination of inner emotional intelligence and outer social intelligence, if we can be attuned to it, enables us to flow easily with life and make many dreams come true. The fourth card I've drawn today is the Page of Coins. This card asks you to be of good character. Counseling advice for the day after tomorrow. This card advises you to take care of your reputation, becoming aware of how others see you. Often other people can tell us things about ourselves we may not want to see and can thus help us grow. Open yourself to this opportunity. Be honest with yourself about who you really are, rather than clinging to the image you have of yourself. The image serves a purpose and may be based on some reality, but it will not necessarily move you forward. Swallow your pride and work towards becoming the best you can be. Be of good character. The Page of Coins represents someone who realizes their reputation is important to a successful life, that the quality of their being is just as important as the quality of their work. For the Page of Coins, what he does and who he is are one and the same. In a sense, he represents the balance of personal as well as material enrichment. There are people in our lives who we know we can trust. Their character and who they are as well as what they do sticks in our memories. They probably realize that work on themselves is as important as their work in the world. When our name is damaged, we suffer in subtle ways which may not be obvious, but are real. Thus we should always bear in mind how we are regarded in the world. If you were to die today, what might your true epitaph say? The fifth card I've drawn today is the Five of Wands. This card explains that resolved conflicts will bring success. What is predicted for my life after these 3 days? Receiving the Five of Wands in this position suggests you may find yourself with an opportunity to overcome a conflict after following this counseling advice. This conflict could be inside yourself, with another person or people, or with something in your surroundings. Through perseverance, courage, patience and strength of spirit, you will be able to find a place of peace inside yourself and or in your environment. However, you will need to take responsibility for any part you have played in the conflict and in future try to join forces rather than oppose. This is likely to gain you greater success and is a healthier way to live. Resolved conflicts will bring success. The Five of Wands speaks of conflicts, competition and niggling problems that just won't seem to go away. Our need to fight with and win over others can come from a healthy place, but often it arises from a place of fear. For instance, we may feel the need to protect old patterns of behavior, or ideals and values which are outdated and ought to be dropped rather than defended. Sometimes feelings of inferiority can also cause us to pick fights, if we feel our egos need protecting. It can be difficult to ignore calls to fight, particularly if we are feeling under threat or if we just love that buzz of adrenaline. However, it is important to keep a lookout for what triggers us in life and ask ourselves whether these incidents are really important enough to pursue. It is, after all, better to use one's energy to work towards a place of inner peace and harmony if possible, rather than a state of conflict. I hope you enjoyed this sample reading. Please remember to subscribe to my channel for new readings each day. And follow me on Instantgo through the link in the description below. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon.